Good morning. It's Friday. We made it. We made it to the end of the week, right? Yesterday was a busy day. I went to Missoula and came back. Wow, what a whirlwind day. I had intention to stop by. There's a rock shop in Missoula I've heard about, and I had intention of stopping by, and I just kind of was like, no, I got other things to do. So I visited with some friends. I have one friend I haven't seen in 4 or 5 years, and I have another friend that I have seen him around, but not as much. And so I was able to sit in a coffee shop in Missoula, and then I had the wonderful opportunity to speak to a beautiful soul who I encountered a couple years ago, and I have been working with a massage school here in Montana and teaching energy medicine to her massage students. And we kind of talked logistics, and I am for sure going to do an energy medicine class this fall. It is set. We don't know what date. That's okay. I'm going to let her decide that, because there are things I'm not making decisions of right now because I am still recovering. And then she also needs office work and kind of like stuff, like logistic stuff done at the massage school, and I will be doing that probably starting in September. But until then, I'm healing and I'm doing other things. So what I did today, and I had meant to do it earlier in the week, and I couldn't get all my stuff together. And I did not sleep very well last night. I traveled and I had a long day, and I thought for sure I would come home and just crash, and had a hard time going to sleep, and a hard time staying asleep. And I was up at 3:30 this morning, and I kind of laid there and did some meditations. And anyway, I got up early, and I decided, and I had meant to do this earlier in the week, I wanted to get my Earth Warrior Oracle out. Now, I use these cards differently. So Oracle cards for me are not like tarot cards, okay? Because I use them for daily devotionals. I use them for themes for my day because, and especially this particular artist and writer, she's got another set that I really like as well. But this one is Earth Warriors Oracle by Alana Fairchild, and I really like her stuff. So if you would like to, I'm not promoting it or getting a kickback or anything, but if you wanted to, you could get this set, and then you could kind of know where I'm getting stuff from, right? So the card that I pulled today, and I pull them just randomly, that card is this card. Amaru, the beautiful place. And I love her artwork. So I usually like pull a card and I kind of see what the card looks like first. And I love that she has volcanoes and the phoenix and waves, butterflies, flowers, the lion, the unicorn, hummingbirds, a baby, flowers. There's a lot to her artwork. And the goddess image is wearing peacock feather earrings, which I think are awesome. One of these days I'm going to get a pair of those. Anyway, so I took some of the things that she wrote in her book, and I kind of put them together in my own thing, and I'm going to talk about it. Childish dreams are not idle imagination, but true spiritual visions inspired by the universal heart that yearns for divine paradise to be manifested in all worlds. Do not be afraid to face a problem head on. Facing the issues, you shall simplify the complexity and recognize the practical steps that will create healing change. Keep your mind and heart open as you Move forward in unconditional loving guidance and invoke divine healing in any situation. Peace is not merely the absence of war. Warriors understand that you must fight for peace using strength, courage, creativity, intelligence, and the will to continually align with a peaceful presence. Saboteurs, or those who work against peace, will try and convince you to believe that peace is passive, denial of presence, and that peace is detachment, or that it's irrelevant or impractical, an impractical expectation. You, with peace in your heart, sees more clearly, is more willing and able to act in your spiritual guidance, and can and will affect healing change in the world. They are harder to manipulate and harder to disempower. So there's layers in here, right? So one of the big ones is childish dreams is not idle imagination. The true spiritual visions are inspired by the universal heart that yearns for the divine paradise to be manifested in all worlds. Imagination is not a bad thing. Having an imagination and having intention and being able to visualize that. Not everybody can, right? Like we've learned a lot about how different people look at the world. It's become part mainstream that some people visualize things and some people don't. I'm a visualizer, but I'm never going to demean somebody who can. I just don't understand it because I can't experience that. So imagination and being able to visualize and being able to imagine something different is important to all of us. Being able to conceive of a world that is different and better. And we all have artists around us. Even the most stoic has the artist around them that can envision that, right? I like that she talks about peace is not merely the absence of war. Warriors understand that to have peace, you must have strength, courage, creativity, intelligence, and the will to constantly align with your peaceful presence. And that's when I talk about finding your peace. You find your peace constantly, right? It's not that you find your peace and you're always there. We're humans and we're changeable, and there's always something that's going to nudge us off that center line. And that center line is active. There is absolutely nothing passive about spiritual awareness and spiritual connection. That's one of the big reasons that I do daily devotional for myself, is that it makes me be active, right, in communicating what that means and helps me realign every day with that purpose. What am I doing? What brings me peace and what helps me continue to work on my journey? And that journey is to share with others. We don't fight that negativity. We don't fight that negative push and tug alone. We need others in our lives to support and nurture and be our community. And those negative ninnies, those saboteurs, and there are life plans out there where that is their job. Their job is to create conflict, to throw you off. They're creating their own karma, but your place is to find your peace. It's not passive. It's not denial. It's not irrelevant or impractical. It's not an impractical way to live. It is an active way to live. Peace is action, okay? To be at peace is to be an active participant and listen to your intuition and have compassion and be connected to a community. That is what peace is. We talk about peace in a big worldview, like we're going to stop killing each other. Great, wonderful. That is peace, wonderful. But how do you get there and how do you maintain that? Because human beings have a tendency to fight, right? Have you ever watched little kids fight over a toy? it's part of who we are as humans in this manifestation to have conflict, and that conflict helps us learn and helps us become better spiritual beings. We can choose to not, and we can choose to. And peace is active. You teach children how to get along, right? Sometimes you have to teach adults how to get along. Like, hello, grow up, be the adult in the room. And what does the adult in the room do? They find their peace, and they stay calm, they breathe, and they give each person in the room their grace and the ability to fill that space honestly and truly as best that they can. And we all need to do that for one another every day, and it's hard. And there are days where you want to throw somebody out the window. But that's okay too. Like, it's okay to have those thoughts and those emotions, because that's part of the human experience. You, with peace in your heart, sees more clearly and is more willing to be able to act on your spiritual guidance. You can and will affect healing change in the world. It is harder to manipulate someone who has found the peace in themselves and has found that peaceful warrior, because those peaceful warriors are really hard to disempower, really hard to knock down. You can wear them down, but you can't knock them down, because they have that peace within themselves. Be that peaceful warrior. Be that imaginative, innovative, visionary of peace. Each one of us can be that peaceful warrior in our own way, right? We don't have to rely on others to do it. That can be your contribution to the changing world. The world is changing. And there are people that are digging their heels in, and they do not want to see a change. They want the 1950s. They want the 1800s is what they want. But the world is changing, and you can't stop that change. But you can be a participant in that change, and you can be the peaceful warrior. And that peaceful warrior starts with yourself. And it's an everyday, actionable thing. You can't maintain it without actively participating in it. And I kind of go on about that, and I'm very passionate about it, and it reminds me of a conversation I had yesterday. And in that conversation, I recognized that community is something I'm really, really passionate about. I've always been really passionate about it, but I haven't always had it. I have felt very alone for very long stretches of my life. And being the only one in the room that seems to be able to see the potential outcome, or the only one in the room that seems to be able to recognize that it's very lonely and that people are so not awakened to who they really are. And that's a really hard place to be. But I also know that it won't be that way forever. And the world has changed. And I know that the work that I am doing is important. And it may not mean anything today, but it'll mean something tomorrow. And that's what matters. I just have to live my journey. I just have to work on my peace, and I have to work on getting myself better so that I can get back to teaching, and I can get back to working on healing and seeing clients. And I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. And everybody knows what they're supposed to do when they stop and they work on themselves and they find that peace within themselves. They know what they're supposed to do. But community is a part of that. We cannot continue to live our lives with the idea and this fallacy that you have to always do it alone. Your life and your blueprint are already putting you in a place of isolation because you have to do that hard work yourself. But you don't have to do it in a vacuum, and we're not meant to do it in a vacuum. We're supposed to have community and family and people to communicate with and rely on. And okay, I'm an extrovert, so take that where you will, right? But I have to have quiet time alone to recharge, and I have to have quiet time to do my thing. And you have to respect your introverted friends and give them that time to recharge. But that doesn't mean that they want to live alone and be alone for their whole lives. Reach out. Be reachable. Life kind of batters up against the rocks and tears us apart, and we get caught up in this rhythm. I got caught up in this rhythm this last year, and I got sick, and it practically destroyed me. So I'm healing, and in that healing process, I am seeing what that rhythm means for me. So I have days like yesterday where I run around like a crazy person and I get my little extroverted heart content. And today I'm staying at home and I'm not going anywhere. That's okay too. Matter of fact, probably not going anywhere today or tomorrow because I need to be by myself because I'm still healing. It's kind of a long ramble, but the theme is, I think, pretty self-explanatory. So I'm going to start putting next week's videos up on YouTube. They're going to go out a week out. I think I told y'all that last week, but they are going up on the Elemental Healing YouTube video. The Elemental Healing YouTube channel. Wow, couldn't get that out. So I encourage you to pop over there and check those out. Apparently I've been posting on Instagram. Didn't know I was doing that. Oops. So I got all kinds of crossing things going on, and I don't know what that means, but the universe has a tendency to take me by the tail, and I end up going where I'm supposed to go. So all of you that are following me now on Instagram, welcome to the party. This is the chaos that happens. And I hope you're enjoying daily devotionals on that Instagram page, which is not really what I set that page up to do. That page was supposed to be for art and my Eagle and Rue YouTube channel, which is all art stuff. So there's a twist in the universe. Have a beautiful day, guys, and I will see you next week in Daily Devotions. Have a beautiful day. Have a blessed day. Find your light. Find your peace. And I will see you in prayer. Blessed be.